Hey, this is Chris at Highline Handmade Guitars, and I wanted to show you my new fret slot cutting jig. This is based on a little mini mite saw that I picked up at Harbor Freight. I saw this saw a couple of years ago, and I had the idea that it might serve a purpose as a fret slotting tool. But the only trouble was that the blade that it came with is too thick. The kerf is too wide for a fret slot. So I kind of looked around trying to find a blade that would work, and at the time I wasn't able to find anything. And then the other day I revisited the subject, and I was doing a Google search for really thin kerf 4-inch diameter blades, which is what this table saw requires. And I found a company called Thurston Manufacturing, and I'll put a link in the description. They sell jeweler's saws, jeweler blades, and all different diameters, and they just happen to have a 4-inch diameter blade with a 1/2-inch arbor, which is what this table saw requires. And the kerf is 23 thousandths of an inch, which is exactly what you need for frets, for the tangs on frets. So I picked up a couple of those blades and attached it to or installed it on the table saw, and then I made this simple little sliding table. It just has a couple of guide blocks on each end, and on this side I cut slots for the screws that hold it so that I could adjust it so there would be no play, but it would slide smoothly, and then put a piece of scrap wood here to keep the board square with the blade. And then what I do is I just print out my fret scale on a piece of paper, and I have a line here which lines up at the very center of the blade, and then I can just line that up and run the saw. And to get the height, or actually the depth of cut correct, it's really simple. It's just got this single knob here which you can loosen, and you can raise it or lower it. It's pretty crude, but it works. So I can set this to the depth that I need, tighten it down, and then I'm ready to go, and I can cut slots all day. The only disadvantage is this motor doesn't have a lot of power, so it's just a regular sewing machine motor. However, if you go on to eBay, you can probably find some 1.5 to 2 amp motors. This is a 9/10 of an amp, but if you got like a 1.5 to 2 amp motor, this thing would have plenty of power to cut the slots. But this is how it works.